discuss this example of total derivative. We have a function and we have to find its total derivative. In previous video also we have seen example of same type, but this function is different. What we do first, we write a function. We have f of xy. What is the function given? X square plus y square. After that, function is given. After that, we want a point and h also. So the point is not given, so we will take any arbitrary point a1 comma a2. Let a is equal to a1 comma a2 and h, I am considering h, which is h1 comma h2. After that, we have to find two terms, that means f of a plus h and f of a. Let us find first f of a plus h. Consider f of a plus h. F of, you know that a means what? a1 comma a2 plus h means h1 comma h2. So you know that how to add. We need to add component wise. First component plus first component, second component plus second component. After that, we need to follow the definition. Definition of f says x square plus y square. That means square of first component plus square of second component. So let us follow the same definition here. So a1 plus h1 square plus a2 plus h2 square. Sorry, bracket square I suppose, right? Bracket square. So by following the definition, we have got this one. Second term, okay, first term we have calculated f of a plus h. After that, we have to go for f of a. Let us find f of a now. Now, f of a, that means f of a1 comma a2. We have to find the value of f of a1 comma a2. Simply follow the definition. Definition says square of first component, that means a1 square plus square of second component, a2 square. So f of a plus h and f of a, both terms we have calculated. Let us find the difference between them. F of a plus h minus f of a. F of a plus h is this one. So a1 plus h1 square plus a2 plus h2 square minus f of a is a1 square plus a2 square. But see, there is minus sign outside. Getting? So that's why sign will get changed. Or first of all, I will write this down. In next step, we will solve the bracket, then sign will get changed. To find the values, okay, we have to solve, we have to simplify it. So what will I do? I will follow the formula of a plus b bracket square formula. You know, a square plus 2ab plus b square. Let us follow the same formula to find the values of these two brackets. So this is equal to a1 square plus 2a1 h1 plus h1 square. If you follow the same formula, a2 square plus 2a2 h2 plus h2 square. When you solve the bracket, sign will get changed, minus a2 square. Can we cancel anything? Yes, 100% we can cancel. We can cancel a1 square minus a1 square. We can cancel a2 square minus a2 square. Okay, so and the remaining terms we need to write. So this is 2a1 h1 plus h1 square plus 2a2 h2 plus h2 square. After that, main task of this problem, that means we have to define the linear transformation. We define a linear transformation. We define a linear transformation T from R2 to R. I will define, since we have a function also from R2 to R, as we are defining this way, T of H, which is equal to T of H1 comma H2. So technique I have already told you in previous video, that is whatever the value of f of a plus h minus f of a. Getting this value we have got now. We have to consider only linear terms. That means square should not be there, or cube. Getting? So we have only this 2a1 h1 and 2a2 h2. Remaining terms have a squares. So that's why 2a1 h1 plus 2a2 h2. So these two terms we have. Okay, so this is our linear transformation. After that, you can make a screenshot of it, then we will go further. Let us find the value of f of a plus h minus f of a minus t of h now, since it is involved in definition. Get it? So f of a plus h minus f of a we have already calculated, that is 2a1 h1 plus h1 square plus 2a2 h2 plus h2 square. T of h, which we have taken 2a1 h1 minus 2a2 h2. Basically there is plus sign, but here when we have a minus sign outside, all sign will get changed. Can we cancel any terms here? Definitely we can cancel. This term will get cancelled with this one, and this one will get cancelled with this one. So what are the remaining terms? We have simply h1 square plus h2 square. Only this thing we have. Okay, see, this thing we have calculated. Let me remove this part, it is not required now. So total derivative, that means that linear transformation we have already taken, but using epsilon delta definition we need to prove it. Yes, this is a total derivative. Okay, so for that I need to take one epsilon first. Let epsilon greater than 0 be given, and for this epsilon we need to find delta which will work and it will satisfy the definition. We select delta is equal to, see, but right now it is difficult to judge, difficult to guess the value of delta. So I will keep it blank, we will go further, and after solving few steps we will come to know what should be our delta. Consider, I am considering the definition, consider norm h less than delta implies mod f of a plus h minus f of a minus t of h divided by norm h. No more space we have here, so I will continue on here. Okay, this is equal to, see, what about numerator? Numerator already we have calculated, its value is mod h1 square plus h2 square divided by norm h, means you know it is h1 comma h2, which is equal to, see, if you think about numerator, there are squares, so which cannot be negative, so there is no need of mod. So I can write h1 square plus h2 square, and you know the definition of norm, by definition square root of h1 square plus h2 square. See, numerator and denominator have the same terms, just sign powers are different. That means in denominator we have a square root, in numerator there is no square root. So square root will get cancelled, and simply we will have this is square root of h1 square plus h2 square. This is nothing but definition of norm. So this is equal to norm h1 comma h2, which is nothing but norm h, since h1 comma h2 is nothing but h. But we have already written norm of h is less than delta, less than delta. What we supposed to prove? We supposed to prove that that should be less than epsilon. So my choice of delta should be epsilon. So obviously we will have this is less than, this is equal to epsilon, this is less than epsilon. So therefore, so finally what we proved, we started with norm h less than delta. We started with this one, and finally we proved mod f of a plus h minus f of a minus t of h whole divided by norm h is less than epsilon. That means yes, we have proved, okay, that definition is satisfied. So that means this is required total derivative, that linear transformation. I'll write it further, but first you have to make a screenshot of it. Okay, so therefore in terms of limit we can write, that is, I will mention limit h tends to 0 mod f of a plus h minus f of a minus t of h divided by norm h is equal to 0. Definition is satisfied. So therefore we can declare f is differentiable at a. So therefore f is differentiable at a is equal to a1 comma a2 belongs to R2 and its total derivative is so we write in this way total derivative d f of a of h, which is equal to t of h. This is nothing but t of h means h1 comma h2, and yeah, what was our definition? It was 2 a1 h1 plus 2 a2 h2, right? See, that was our t. So total derivative we found out, but see, a is any arbitrary point. That means function should be differentiable at each point. So that's why we can declare it as a differentiable scalar field. Let me write that thing here. But a belongs to R2 is any arbitrary point, So therefore, f is differentiable at each a belongs to R2. So that's why we can declare therefore f is differentiable scalar field. So in this way we have completed this example. You can make a screenshot of it. After that we will stop. Thank you. Bye bye.